do we call it when a physical tissue which has been injured reforms itself in an undifferentiated way? Scar tissue, right? It just simply closes the gap and we stay alive at a point of loss of function. And that's what we get, I call them traumatogenic or tropic constancy. So tropism is a tendency in biology towards, geotropism, the roots always go down. So it's a constancy that keeps enshrining the trauma as a centralised organiser of your life. And that's what post-traumatic stress is. And that means just like, the golden hour after burns?
Oh, yeah.
You get to it very rapidly before scar tissue starts forming and you can intercept the process. And I think this is the essence of psychological first aid. And from the social point of view, you get to the person before they start to restructure themselves as a debonded element and rebond them in the simplest way, that, as you were saying, John, the care. Just simple care. We've got to train highfalutin psychologists to put all their complicated stuff away and just be a really caring human being, because ordinary people don't do it right. They try to do too much, or they're too defended, or they try to minimise, or we need to actually just be with them where they are without trying to change it. Ordinary people can't cope with that. We've got the skills, but we try and engage in clinical work. Do we want a neurosurgeon by the side of the road when someone's been knocked over? If you talk to ambulance officers, they say the last person you ever want is a doctor at the scene.
You don't even really want that.
Yeah. So, actually, in my training of debriefers in the department, I find that those with clinical training have a lot more trouble getting it than those who are coming up through welfare or something like that, and they say, well, he's telling us to do that, that makes sense, I'll do that. Now, I'm being insulting, but I think we've got to be very clear. We must analyse the phenomena and use those skills which relate to the phenomena, not simply roll out our package of skills. This is in the early intervention side. And then we intercept, because I believe, and I heard Ari Shalev say this the other week, the big trauma guru from Israel, from all of his research, he's saying that post-traumatic stress is a failure of recovery, mainly, right? It's a failure of recovery. It's not impact related. Well, it is impact related, you've got to have the impact, but post-traumatic stress is the person has failed to recover. So they form traumatotropic constancies in all sorts of areas of their life. Now, we've got to track those through and analyse them and break them down and help them reform. That may take a long time. Now, the psychic apparatus, soma, the lived body, psyche, the mind, the social, the attachments, they are inseparable. We must consider all three all the time. We've got to bring the arousal down, we've got to bond to the person, and we've got to give them mental representations so they can start to understand what's going on. Because most of them will never have been in this state of mind before. And what binds these three together is communication again. Right? Can I communicate with my body? You can turn it on. So we're talking about the psychic apparatus consists of psyche, soma, and social. What connects those three components is communication. Can I communicate with my body? Do I understand what my body's doing and know what to do with it? Bring the arousal down. Does my body communicate to me? Or am I numb and shut down and not really able to feel anything? Can my mind communicate with another person? Can I actually explain to them what's going on? Or are they like the St Andrews woman who can't say anything? Do they get it? Can they read my body? Or do they get it wrong? Etc.